If you live in the US, the UK, or India, you probably have an iPhone, and you probably make fun of your Android friends for all those green text messages. But what if I told you it's your fault? Let's talk about it. Okay, for those of you who don't know, iPhone isn't the most popular phone company. Pretty much everybody else in the world, besides those 3 countries, has an Android. Because they're better. I can also bet that if you own an iPhone, you probably use the default iMessage app. When texting your Android friends in iMessage, the bubbles appear green instead of blue. You lose read receipts, and photos and videos are compressed, making them nearly unwatchable. But why is that? To explain, let me tell you about the history of text messaging. Text messaging works through something called a protocol, just a set of rules that tells the phone how to package information before sending it. Text is compressed into a bunch of ones and zeros, then sent through the internet to your buddy's phone. The first text protocol was made in 1992, and it's called SMS, which stands for Short Message Service. It was revolutionary for the time. You could send pretty long messages as well as photos and super short videos. It did this by compressing the file size, getting rid of the least important data. You'll get your photo, just not in full quality. Okay, fast forward 10 years, it's 2002. The third greatest action movie ever just released. Cell phones have gotten so compact that you can easily fit them in your pocket. A new technology called the smartphone is emerging, and the first touchscreen iPhone is just around the corner. Cell phones have HD cameras, but you can't send a video over a few seconds long. So, Sony releases a new phone with a brand new protocol, MMS. It allows you to send a text up to 160 characters in length, and videos up to 40 seconds, which is pretty impressive. MMS is what the first iPhone launched with, as well as all of the Android phones that followed. Okay, let's fast forward one more time. It's 2008. America is in the middle of an economic crisis. Everybody owns a smartphone, and the greatest and second greatest action movies of all time have been out for a while. Since everybody owns a smartphone, people are beginning to worry about their security. You send hundreds of texts every day, and as we've just figured out, people can read them. It's actually like super easy to read somebody's text. So what do? We invent RCS. It allows for even longer messages and videos, as well as audio files. But most importantly, it adds end-to-end encryption. Sweet. Samsung is the first major manufacturer to allow RCS on their phones in 2012. So by 2015, pretty much all Android phones have been using RCS to communicate with each other. Texting is safe, high quality, and private for all. Insofar, even to this day, there's not really been a need for a new protocol. RCS is pretty much perfect. So to recap, SMS was made in 1992, then replaced by MMS in 2002, then by RCS in 2008 to 2015. Now we gotta talk about the problem. When texting between 2 Android phones, there's no problem. RCS is supported across all Android devices, so it's awesome for everybody. But then when you start texting between 2 iPhones, that's where the problem starts. Apple has elected to use MMS between iPhones, which is just not safe at all. Like I said, your texts aren't private in MMS. Anybody can read your texts. But what happens when you want to text an Android from an iPhone? Well, Apple defaults to SMS, the 30-year-old protocol. That's why you lose all the cool iMessage features when texting an Android. The green bubble thing is just Apple, though. And this isn't some software limitation. Apple's deciding to be a jerk because they can. Not only is RCS never available on an iPhone, but they've decided to artificially limit interactions with Android phones to make Apple users think that Android is the problem. You see the problem here. No matter who you're texting from iMessage, on iPhone, your texts just aren't secure. That whole Apple is privacy thing, it's complete bullcrap. Let me reiterate one more time. Android is not the reason you're getting green bubbles. It's Apple. It's iPhone's fault. But we can fix it. The phone company Nothing announced earlier this week that they're creating a workaround. Now, there's an app on the latest Nothing phone that allows you to get blue bubbles on an iPhone. It does this by connecting your Android phone to an Apple computer somewhere in a server farm. So basically, you're texting your iPhone friends through an Apple computer. Now, absolutely, this does raise some privacy concerns. But you have elected to use MMS on an RCS-supported device. The Apple server farm is not the worst part of this deal. I trust Nothing enough to know that the server farms that they're using are probably pretty secure. But hey, that's just my opinion. I won't even use the service because RCS is better. But wait, the story gets even better. In response to this, iPhone has just announced that RCS is now supported across all their devices. And it sounds like they're even supporting RCS between Android and iPhone devices, which is great. I don't think this means that the green bubble is going away, however. Even though everybody is now on the same protocol, nice job, Apple, it seems like they'll still be able to differentiate between Android and iPhone devices. So yeah, green bubble is not going away, but I think that you're still gonna get all of the cool iMessage features between Androids and iPhones. Finally, Apple has caught up with the rest of us. And hey, if they continue to use SMS between Androids and iPhones, that is just not okay. It is up to us, the consumers, to band together and tell Apple support RCS across all devices. No question about it. All right, that's all I got. Party on, dudes.